All right. Hey, welcome back to the Go for CEO channel. I am super, super, super excited when we talk about a queen, a person that is killing it in her game and about to share with you some incredible stories of how to really run a business. Because, on the Go for CEO channel, we talk to CEOs, founders, entrepreneurs, and entrepreneurs as well to really share with you the marketing, the scaling, the operations, and what it is that they do to really run a real good business. And Sandbox Soul has got some soul behind it, some strength behind it. And, we had some off channel talks right now, and Wendy has just shared some really neat things about what's going on. It is the 1st of July, 2021. We are in the second half of 2021 and ready to dominate. So excited. Go for CEO community. Please smash that like button. Make sure you tell your friends and refer this video to other people, as you're going to learn a ton from our special guests. Wendy Salyer from Sandbox Soul. Welcome to the Go for CEO channel.
Hi, thanks for having me, John.
Awesome. Awesome. Well, hey, so excited to have you on. I know that it's another conversation with a Clubhouse new friend of mine, and having you on the Go for CEO channel. We've had a few other people that we've built great relationships with, and so excited to hear about what the journey is that you did to really flourish with Sandbox Soul and what you're doing. So we'd like to start with kind of tell us a little bit about the beginning story, and then we'll get up to when you first founded Sandbox Soul, and then we'll kind of go from there to share what you did. So go ahead and take it away.
Sure. Well, my core business is in manufacturing. We just kind of had a little conversation about it. And during the pandemic early on, my daughters and I, we do a lot of crafting. We just got into more home things, right? Because everyone was kind of sitting around for a while. So we kind of threw around the idea of a candle company because we love candles. And I thought, okay, these are my young daughters. They've seen me run my corporation. They see the scale that I've done, but it's a journey to get to those big scales. It doesn't happen overnight, right? So I thought this would be a great opportunity. So towards the end of the year, we really decided to take a harder stance on making this actually become part of our corporation. So we got Sandbox Soul. We had actually bought this domain 3 years ago. I love buying domains. I don't know why. It's kind of a little hobby. They're only $12 for a year. If I like it, great. If not, whatever. And I bought this. We originally had another name for it, and I don't know. It just wasn't resonating. It was a good name, and it was a previous business that I had with another partner that I sold, and I don't know. It just wasn't resonating with me, and so I kept going over and over again, and we found this one, and I'm like, let's just do this. This seems right. We're in Southern California, Sandbox Soul. The world's our sandbox. Everyone can play in it. It's candles help feed the soul. They set a tone. They set an environment. They get you in the mood for whatever. Either it's energy, with citrus, or it's relaxing with lavender, or whatever, right? So we thought, let's go for it. So we started small, and then I kind of just reached out to my friends on Clubhouse and some influencers of mine, and I just started sending them the products for free. I actually have a Clubhouse collection. Peace out for when you have to leave quietly, little peace out with the sign. An all-nighter because we're on it all night long, right? And then we sold out actually of the private room. I have one that's called Private Room, if you want to jump in a private room. And then we have money, because who doesn't want to make money, right? So there's some really good candles in our line. And I just started reaching out. We just launched like 3 weeks ago completely, because we hired a VA. I put them on a shoestring budget, right? We bootstrapped everything. So I put them on a budget. We got our supplies. We thought we want to be as clean as possible because there's a million people doing candles, right? But Amazon sells $25 million in candles a day, just Amazon. So there's plenty for everyone to play in the sandbox, right? So we started with our supply chain. We tried different oils and stuff, and just, it was trial and error. And then we finally, because I have a wholesale account, which a lot of people don't know this, get a retailer's license, get a wholesale account. Usually to have a wholesale account, at least in California, you have to have a retail license, or a seller's permit. And I think it's like $12 or something. You go online, do it all online, get your seller's permit, and then you can take it to different suppliers and get reduced cost for your supplies. You can buy it wholesale, because that's really what I do. I sell wholesale to stores. I sell furniture to stores wholesale, and then they sell it to the consumer, right? So I knew the whole wholesale side, and I try not to buy full price anything. Like in my mind, I always know there's something better to get, right? I never want to pay full price. If I have to barter, I will. Somebody wants a sofa, I'll barter you for your services. We do that, right? So that's been a great journey. Yeah. So just to piggyback off that, I used wholesale if you can to start your business, and I would highly recommend to get a seller's permit if you're selling a product. And then we took it from there, and I just started sending them out. I had to figure out how to sell from home with Shopify, because I am not that person. I hire out. Like, I don't want to learn a new skill. Like, I've been there, done that. But I wanted to teach my girls. So it was kind of humbling, to be honest with you, to go back to basics. Like, I had to put myself in their shoes again, because I have people that I dial and I just hire, and I say, I need this, and then I can pay them. So I had to put myself in their shoes and get back to basics as a new entrepreneur, right? And so that's kind of how it started. And I've just been having fun getting feedback. And then every time I send it to somebody, they post it on their social media, and we get some feedback and stuff from that. So that's been really, really a fun journey to watch.
I love it.
And that's where we're at today.
And you talked about it, right? Obviously, your experience with the wholesale market and what you do with some of these big box stores and the things that you do, and you shared offline, and then you get an inspiration, right? It's kind of like the Go for CEO channel. Kind of got inspired. I actually was holding on to the same thing. I was holding on to Go for CEO for a few years, never really acted, and then got inspired during the pandemic with friends that were losing their businesses. And I said, I want to bring the small to medium-sized voice to the marketplace. And here we are, right, with Sandbox Soul and inspiration, and daughters learning about what it takes to be an entrepreneur. And as you said, you're taking a step back, but really you're taking 3 steps forward, because you're having, your next generation work with you, which is so cool. So tell us a little bit about kind of you think about candles. What does it really take to formulate a candle, to get us through that process? Because we learn a lot about operations on Go for CEO. So tell us through those steps and how you start to manufacture candles, and, even testing some of the scents that you talked about.
So you would, oh,
sorry about that. Go ahead.
That's like, you would think that all you would have to do is melt some wax, put some oil in it, and put a wick in it, and you're done, right? It sounds really simple. It's not. There's a science to it that I wanted to use the purest form. So we use pure 100% coconut wax. Literally, you could pour it on your hand and rub it in. I didn't want, because some people are allergic to paraffins, and soy is like whatever. So I just wanted coconut wax plus coconut, sand, beach. I don't know. It all kind of flowed together, right? And then the oils, you have to burn the wax at a certain temperature. And then it has to be a certain temperature to pour the oil in, for the oil to actually give off that smell, to ignite that smell, and kind of when it's lit, right? And then, stirring it for a little bit. You can't just pour it in, stir it, and then pour it in it. There's just a whole science to it. We went on YouTube. We didn't have anyone teach us. We self-taught ourselves on YouTube how to make a candle. I mean, we Googled everything. We went on, there's great tools online for free. Like, this was, remember, we did not want to spend money where we didn't have to. So we were hunkered down at home. So we just started Googling, writing our notes, back to old school, back to basics, pen and paper, and trial and error. And the scent blending, there's undertones, there's middle notes, there's surface notes. So there's a lot of nuances, like a perfume, how that combination resonates. And then how, when it comes out of the bottle, how does it smell on your skin? Well, the same thing with the candle. When it burns, how does it smell versus the bottle that you're smelling, right? Because it's a totally different formulation. So there was all kinds of nuances. Okay, so we get that down, right? Now, what are we going to do? What's our label look like? Okay, originally we had a square label, and I thought that's great. And we used our craft paper, because this is all like, very the colors are very muted and everything. And we used a craft brown. We didn't want a white label. We wanted a very simple label. So we originally started with a square, which was great. It was fine. It looked good, but it just didn't resonate. So we changed everything to, our smaller labels, right? You got to have a safety label on the bottom for the, it's just code, you have to have it. And most of the time when you buy wicks, they will give you the safety labels. If you're buying them on Amazon or anything, these come with it. So it's kind of really nice. It's an added bonus. And then the other thing we wanted to do was, we didn't want a regular wick. We like these wood wicks. These are wood because they burn cleaner. They don't have as much soot as the cotton. So there was a lot of little nuances that we changed up throughout that we found, may cost a penny or two more, but it's so worth it in the quality. So those are just some of the basics. And then the vessels, I had originally a thinner glass vessel, which if you ship it could crack easier. So we decided to go with a thicker vessel, which costs a little bit more, but well worth it because you don't have as many damages because it's thicker. So that was another thing we found out. And then the whole shipping process, like, okay, well, nobody ships. I don't ship anything anymore. I buy them up. I mean, some people ship to me. Okay. I don't ship, I don't even ship out gifts. I'll send a gift card electronically or something. I haven't been to the post office in 10 years. I get my mail, I don't even go to that parking lot. So I thought, okay, how does this work? So again, go on YouTube. How do you ship from Shopify? How do you print labels? What do I need? Avery labels, an inkjet printer. I had to figure out how to measure it to get the label right for the everything was from the beginning. Even though in here I'm like, this is neat, this is like shit. I'm sorry, I don't do this,
Yeah.
So anyway, so we learned from scratch, and you know what? It was the best learning experience than having it all in a box ready to go. Actually, I really liked the experience of the challenge, and then also the perseverance to win, to get through this module of learning and saying, I got this. I can actually tell somebody else what I did and said, this is what I did. And it's super easy. Just do this, so it was kind of nice to, as my daughters and I were learning, they saw things that I didn't, I saw things that they didn't. So it was a little classroom, and we put all our ideas together and then we figured it out. And then we got like 5 of our friends and we said, we're going to ship you something. I want an experience. I want you to tell us if it shipped good, how long it took, or when you got it. I want to text when you got it, open it up. What does the package look like? And is it intact? Because if it's hot out, is it going to melt? I don't know. Do I need to put ice on it? I don't know how to ship in summer. I still haven't figured that out because it's just starting to get hot. But then I thought, well, it's only hot here. What if I ship somewhere and it's really hot? So I mean, there's just all kinds of things that you figure out as you go. And the cool thing about this is if it breaks or something, I'm not out hundreds of dollars. I'll just send them a new one. I don't need it returned. Don't have to return anything. It's a candle. I will send you, or if you want a refund, I'll just refund you. So it's not going to break us if something happens, which is another really good, a really good thing that we learned about product cost, because our product cost, our shipping cost, and then what we sell at retail, we had to price it right. So we're probably priced a little low right now, quite frankly, but my goal is that I work with volume. I'm doing container work in my core business. I'm selling thousands of sofas a day. So my mind thinks like that, and that's where I want it to go. I love the retail side of this. By the way, this is the first time I've ever sold retail. I've always only done wholesale. So I'm not on the customer centric side. I'm on the buyer business to business side. So this was the first time. So we want to continue to do that. So our next step is to get a brick and mortar store, a storefront, and we have this vision of how it's going to look. And in the back, we'll do all the manufacturing. And then we'll also hold classes where you can make your own candles and private label with your own scent and scent blending. That's our ultimate goal. And that you can you could do it all. or you can buy all your own supplies from us at wholesale, because we want to be a wholesale vendor, and then do it on your own. So that's what the end goal is.
Sweet.
So
Again, what a great journey, right? Just learning the fundamentals, the formulation, the packaging, the shipping. I mean, these are all fundamental things, especially in a product business. Now, are you strictly e-commerce right now? Or I know you have a
yeah.
vision for retail, but are you strictly e-commerce at the moment?
No, actually, because my core business is furniture stores.
Mm.
They can all wholesale with me. They can buy wholesale
Oh,
from me, and so I have a couple of orders that we're testing, and they'll be in our stores. They'll be in stores at a
oh, okay.
retail
So you've been
level.
able to use the distribution channel you currently have to be able to
Right.
implement this product. Pfft,
Yes,
genius.
I have a current list of customers already. So,
I
and
love
then
it.
some of them will buy 50, some of them will buy 500. I don't know. I'm just saying, listen, I'm gonna give you this at my cost, because I just want to see how it goes. If you like it, then we can have a conversation. And
Yeah,
and most new businesses can't do that. I get it. I'm in a different position because I have a core business that is kind of funding this. But at the same time, you kind of have to have a little cushion for those opportunities,
sure.
you know, when you're going out and trying to get in a storefront, like a boutique store, or a major retailer, or even to go white label with people. If, I have a spa, a good friend of mine owns a med spa. And so I'm making her private labels, hand poured for Image Spa MD. And they pick their own name. Look at you, because it's a medical spa. They make people, look and feel beautiful. They do facials and all that stuff. So look at you is perfect. And they also have gift boxes that they're putting them in. So, and they do events. So we do have that arm of the business. But that's on a wholesale level. So your profit margins aren't as much as the retail, of course. So
Mm.
we're learning as we go, but it's fun.
No,
And
I
it's very
love it.
yeah,
Well, and look, your business partners are your daughters, right? So how old are your daughters?
20 and 22.
Wow, what great experience. I mean, seeing mom at the success that you've had with your B2B and wholesale business, and now you guys get inspired. And I'll tell you, I mean, from the look of it, it looks beautiful. I mean, it's very nice. The color is very homey. Like I would see it just all over the house and, my office and that type of thing. So it looks like the type of thing that would really complement even the furniture business that you have and some of the areas that you're going to integrate all this stuff. So tell us a little bit about kind of the funding side. Like you have an advantage, obviously, with a distribution channel in some of the
Yeah.
ways, but that's actually a smart thing, right? As an entrepreneur, you're leveraging the areas of commerce that that you had relationships with. So tell us, for someone that may be starting and has maybe even something similar of an advantage, what's kind of the funding stage of it? How much, if just roundabouts, how much did you have to invest in, like, prototypes or the jars? Did you have to order like 500 jars up front? What are some of those dynamics and the scalability side?
So I started with a $5,000 budget,
Mhm.
and we've only used maybe 3,000 of it.
Mm.
So we're still well within, because I didn't know. But my VA, I hired a VA, that's $500 to set up my Shopify, or I don't remember the exact breakdown, but there was other elements involved. And then, we did a reboot on a few things. And so just those little things. And then the wax, we started off, okay, that's another thing. I'm terrible at math, and wax quantities are the melt to it's a lot. So I'm like, well, how much wax should I buy? Well, let's just buy 100 pounds. Okay. 100 pounds is a lot of wax. and but it's fine, because I'm really glad that I bought in advance, because the supply chain is becoming congested, or actually becoming sparse. It's not as fluid as it always is because of the pandemic. So getting supplies, getting glass, these glass vessels, I had to order, I think I ordered 200 to start, and now I've got to reorder now before I run, like way before I run out, and maybe go with another look if they don't have this. Like, I have to be ready to pivot. If
Mm.
they don't have this, what's another look that we would want in the line to complement this? So that's kind of where we're at right now. The oils can range. So I have very nice oils. Like they are like Tom Ford smelling, you know, Chanel smelling. I mean, they smell amazing, and they just smell really good. So so I use a little better quality of oil on some of them. And then when I can't find that oil, I have another good source online that I can pull from that have really good oils. I wouldn't say they're, you know, as expensive as the ones I normally use, but they are actually a good blending oil. So I can blend some scents like lavender and vanilla, or gardenia and, you know, I don't know, vetiver or whatever. And, you know, you kind of get that mixologist blend, you know, with different oils. So it just depends on your price point and the, like, are you going to be really high end luxe, or are you going to be, you know, that sweet spot in the middle that everyone can kind of take a taste of? Because I've bought $75 candles. I've bought, you know, $10 candles. So it just really is, either it's budget that you're buying it, or it's because it's kind of like a piece of jewelry for women sometimes. And I'm not excluding men, because men love candles too, but it's kind of like that thing that you have that when you light it, it just, for me at least, it just does something to the room, you know, it sets a tone, you know? So,
Hey, my
so
single
anyway, and
days,
then we have some,
I bought a lot of candles,
yeah,
Wendy. So,
I'm sure you did, but,
so
but yeah, no, so there's just those kinds of elements. So we're still within our initial seed money. So
oh,
I'm happy. Yeah.
no, it's
And
fantastic.
we're obviously making money. So that's kind of balancing it out. The biggest and hardest challenge, I think, for me personally, was the whole shipping and how to get lower shipping, because shipping is so expensive. Like, I don't know how Amazon makes money. I really don't with Prime. I really don't, because shipping is insane right now. And I don't know if that's going to change. I know a Prime membership went up, what, $10 last year.
Mhm.
It might go up again, but you know, the people to deliver our mail and deliver for Amazon are, you know, requiring more, or they're not showing. I mean, you know, the biggest competition is our government, you know, because if they would stop giving out money, then people would go back to work. Mississippi kind of declined to extend benefits, I think, and what happened there. Everyone's going back to work. So, so once things settle down, I'm hoping that some of the price points will change as well. So we'll see.
Yeah, and you're talking about different areas of your business, right? Operations, formulation, scientific. I mean, it's, you know, obviously building it with your partners, your daughters, and then also supply chain and figuring all these things out, and then funding, right? That thankfully you had seed money, which is your money, and then creating a new revenue stream, obviously, of selling the product, and then reinvesting, which is, I'm assuming, is what your guys are doing, and kind of just rethinking about all the things that you have to do, along with obviously supply chain, maybe doing some pivoting and, like you said, some of the jars and or the containers and stuff like that. So
Yeah.
tell us a little bit about kind of the next, you know, 6 to 12 months. What are you seeing as far as just you've brought the idea to market. You happen to have a distribution channel that's going to probably be a very big advantage. You've got a great product. It looks beautiful. You got, you know, marketplace awareness of it, and you're starting to grow it. What are some of the next 3 to 6 months, I guess, journeys that you feel like these are the steps that we're going to take?
You know, it's interesting. And I don't know if my daughters are gonna, like, I don't know if they have the bandwidth, you know, like they're a different
No?
generation. I don't know if they'll have the bandwidth. We all love it, but I'm in love with it. So I have no problem going alone if they don't want to hang on. You know, I'll take all the money myself. But you know, they're, you know, like TikTok and stuff, like, you know, they can help with that. And also the manufacturing of it, because we manufacture, it's hand poured and it's micro batched. But I think the next 6 months, through the end of the year, I'm going to keep using my, one of the things about Clubhouse is, you know, I connect people. I know people from different areas, because that's what happens in life, right? You know somebody. I got a friend, I got a guy, right? So I'm going to use my connections. I'm going to cash in, because I'm always helping other people, right? And I'm always, you know, helping someone out with furniture, or if they want to, hey, you know, my sister's cousin's husband needs a chair. Okay, let me hook him up. Give me his, you know. And so I'm always helping people out. Trust me, I don't mind doing it. It's part of my journey in life, and I think we all, as global citizens, like we do on Clubhouse, give our time to help other people, right? So I'm cashing in now. I'm going to go back to those people and say, hey, and some of them are celebrities, some of them are influencers, some of them have big businesses. And I'm going to say, hey, I'm going to send you this. And that's kind of what I've been doing slowly but surely, is sending people, getting on camera, talking about it, and just really, telling them my journey and my story. Hey, this entrepreneur business came out of the pandemic. You either sat around and waited for something to happen, or you stood up and made something happen, right? And it's survival of the fittest. And I come from a dirty fingernails company. Like, we roll up our sleeves and get to work. Like, there's no laying around. And so that's what we did. And so in the next 6 months, like I said, I'm going to use my connections and help me promote it. And even just to buy it or promote it on their social. Or we haven't spent any money in advertising yet. Zero. So that's key. And I realize that's not key for everybody, but if you can do it on Instagram and social media and Clubhouse, if you're on Clubhouse, I have a coupon, Clubhouse, on my bio. So if they go to the site and punch in Clubhouse, they get 15% off. So I mean, there's all kinds of opportunity everywhere you go. And anytime I'm with a women's networking group here in Southern California, it's one of the largest in the United States. It's called eWomen Network, and the Orange County chapter is one of the biggest chapters, and it's just full of amazing entrepreneurial women from LA, Orange County, San Diego. And so we have our first live in-person event in August, and it's sold out already, or it's almost sold out. And so I'm going to have a table there. I'm going to have a booth, basically there, a vendor booth, that with all our signage, and we're going to have a candle specifically for eWomen, that if they buy it, they get another one half off. So it's promotions, it's driving business, it's passing out. My business card has a QR code on it, so you can link right to my website. Little things like that, because in my core business, not only do I sell to these big stores, I sell to a lot of mom and pops as well. And one of the things that I help, it's great. My product sells in their store with the furniture, but you can't just buy it and put it on the floor. Now, what do we do, right? We got to market it. So I connect them with marketing. I don't make money on marketing. I connect them with people that want to work with, me, or the brand. My brand is Ashley Furniture. It's pretty big brand, pretty well known. And a lot of people want to work with us. So we get some of the best when it comes to web developers, printers, people that send out flyers in your mailbox, all of that stuff come to us. So I can connect them to then help them market it. So really, I'm a marketing specialist. Even though I sell wholesale, it doesn't do me any good to sell you stuff if we aren't going to market it. And so I'm using those skills and transferring it over to this business from ground up to do the same thing as I would with my own customers.
The product must move, right? And what
Gotta move.
journey, right? And I'm waiting for that explosion. So one of the beautiful things with the Go for CEO channel is we're going to have you back in about 6 to 12 months, and that's why I ask a lot of those questions, is because we want to be able to replay this journey, and then connect with you in 6 to 12 months and go, wow, man, Wendy said that's what she did. Things maybe tweaked here and there, and redeveloped some other ways of doing things, but really the journey is coming back and showing kind of what you're doing. So exciting stuff. So I know that with most of my guests, what I do is go through the CEO, right? So that's the client experience. And I know that you touched a little bit about even, knowing that, hey, if they weren't satisfied, if it melted or if the glass broke or whatever. So we're going to go a little bit through that. And I want to kind of get your philosophy, because Go for CEO is about client experience, employee engagement. And right now it's your daughters, right? Kind of co-founding with you. But as you grow, you're going to probably bring on new people. And I just want to get your understanding, even from your wholesale business, how you think about employee engagement. And the last one is operational excellence. So why don't we start with client experience? You touched on it a little bit, but what is truly the philosophy that you have about client experience?
Well, relationships are everything, and it's community over competition, right? I think I've heard that 100 times in the last few months. It's building those relationships. And I mentioned that I'm going to have a table at our first in-person event back at our networking event in Orange County. And part of that is I'm going to be giving back. So when they buy the eWomen candle, that proceeds from that candle are going to go back to the foundation, and we support someone different in our community every year. And so last year it was a women's shelter, and all the money that we raised during that year with raffles or giveaways or donations or whatever, all went to that. And we've raised over $10,000, $20,000, $30,000 sometimes. It's insane, the generosity. And so that's part of it. That's part of becoming customer centric, is being part of the community, right? And really helping in the community, because you never know when you're going to need it, and you're going to need your community. Like, I'm reaching out and I'm using my contacts now that I've been helping all these years. So so that's one thing about being customer centric, community, and building that relationship. And then also you want to bring them on the journey with you, right? It's Sandbox Soul. We took our candles to the beach. We started doing photography at the beach and doing some things, and, holding it in the ocean and having fun with it, and taking them on a journey like these little candles. And then that'll lead into travel candles, because you want to take them with you when you go to the beach, and when you're going traveling or when you're going on vacation, you want to have that coconut smell with you all the time. And so little things like that the community will tell us the direction we're going to go. We're not going to force it on them. We're going to listen to them and let them guide us on what to make next in the line. So.
Oh, that's awesome. Yeah. And client experiences, involving your clients, and, being a part of kind of that journey with them. So really cool to hear that you're going to have that kind of front and center with your business. So, I know that right now, maybe there isn't employees per se, but what is some of the philosophies, since you have a great background and run a, enormous business outside of this new venture? What are some of your philosophies on employee engagement?
Listen, I I am very intuitive. And so when I interview, because I do have a team of people for my core business, and when I interview, I don't ask the normal questions. It's like a conversation. Like,
Mm,
I would rather hire for integrity and teach you the skill. You know, um, I want to be able, I don't want to micromanage you. I want to trust you. And so for me, it's just that innate gut feeling. I haven't been wrong yet, except maybe for my daughters, because I don't know how good they're going to be yet, but I couldn't say no to them. So, you know, um, but I really go on gut instinct with my employees. And I know that I'm going to have employees for this. I'm going to have a storefront. I'm going to need someone to watch it. I'm going to need someone to help with the ordering, to stocking, restocking, helping to manufacture. I have been approached. Well, I think this is in the next segment, but yeah, so that's pretty much it. I'm pretty straightforward when it comes to hiring people. Like,
oh,
they're either a referral too. I mean, I don't ever have to advertise, because uh, my industry is a very good industry to be in. It's very lucrative, and we get paid very well, but we work our butts off for it. And so anyone that's trying to get in it, they know where to go. They know how do I say it without, like, they know it's like a bubble,
yeah.
like, it's a bubble. So people like, hey, so and so left this, and so everyone knows everyone. It's kind of like a community.
No, I say it a lot on Clubhouse, right? One of my strengths is human capital. Actually today I was talking to some people that were entertaining some ideas of working together, and yeah, like you said, it was just we met up at a restaurant, had a conversation, just trying to get to understand if there's a good vibe, right? Because ultimately that's how you work together. That's how you get joint ventures. You start doing business either as an employee or an entrepreneur, and building those relationships. So awesome stuff. Good to hear that. And then
Mhm.
lastly is operational excellence. What does it mean to you to kind of have your systems in place, your SOPs, and the things that you think are going to really make Sandbox Soul and what you've already done in your life operationally excellent?
So always looking, 6 months ahead. Like, we're already looking at New Year advertising, or Valentine's Day advertising, or
Mm,
tax day advertising. Okay, we've already done Black Friday and the holidays. Like, that's already in the bank. And so I'm always constantly forward thinking, right? But always having those conversations. I was approached by someone who has he's bought and sold many, many businesses in the billions. And I was at an event and introduced myself, told a little bit about what I'm doing now. And he approached me, tapped me on the shoulder and said, I would love to have a conversation. Turns out he just opened a huge manufacturing facility in Texas that does candles. And he said, we can streamline this, which I'm happy to do at some point. I don't want to do that now. I don't want to I don't want to scale that fast because I like the integrity that we have with what, the quality. And I just want to make sure it stays, because that's what brought us to the table. So, so that would be maybe in the future when we do bulk sales or volume, and then do the select line, maybe online for just my little website. But when we're doing volume batching, then maybe that's when I would get into a different kind of manufacturing. So that's my futuristic goals, looking forward.
No, I love it. And I will say this, Go for CEO community, I hope that you're feeling the heart of the Sandbox soul, why Wendy really started this and had the approach of being able to make it a family thing. And as you just said, you may find someone that has that co-packing capability and that volume capability. But right now, you just want to bring the heart to what you're doing. And it's so awesome to hear that you don't really, it's not necessarily that this is the only thing you're doing, right? You've already been successful at other things and you're really putting your heart into this. So I think I feel it. So I'm excited to kind of be a part of that and hopefully share the Sandbox Soul journey over the next 6 to 12 months. So Wendy, just as we wrap up here, what are some of the ways that people can contact you, can get an email or website? And we'll go ahead and put that obviously in the description on the social media platforms that we'll be sharing, but go ahead and share how they can get a hold of you guys and how they can order.
Sandboxsoul.com. And we have 3 new scents coming out right now. We started with 6. We've got 3 coming out, 3 in the pipeline. So we're adding constantly. And I'm on, Instagram, Sandbox Soul, Facebook, Sandbox Soul. Just look it up, Google it, and you'll find us. It's a pretty fun journey. So I hope you ride along with us.
Awesome. Well, hey,
you'll have to give me your address so I can send you one, and then you can tell everybody how much you love it.
Well, that'll go right to my wife to the house, and I'll keep one here in the office as well. So we might have to white label one with Go for CEO. So we'll have to do that. So awesome stuff, man. Well, thank you, Wendy, so much. So excited to have met you, to make it proactive, to take us off of Clubhouse and have a real conversation. And gosh, I mean, I know that we could probably talk hours about some of the distribution business that you have and the things that you've been able to do, but so cool that you would give me the time and the Go for CEO community to let us into the picture of what you're doing with Sandbox Soul, the heart that you have behind it, and everything that you do. So excited to have you on. We'll have you on in 6 to 12 months. And thank you so much for coming on the Go for CEO channel.
Thanks for having me. It was great. I'll talk to you later.
Awesome.